What's up everybody? I'm Brandon, and in today's video I'm going to teach you how to spool up a spinning reel with braided line. We're going to go over using monofilament backing, the uni-to-uni knot, and much more. So make sure to stick around until the end to find out how.
Okay, so you're going to need some braid. For this I have 10-pound test at 150 yards. I'm also going to be using a monofilament backing. I'm going to be using 8-pound test. Now, this is just leftover that I had from doing another rod. And if you want to see me do that rod, well, I have that video, and I'll share that at the end here. I know that my Fluger try-on is only going to fit 160 yards of this stuff. Now, I have 150 yards, so I'm going to have 10 yards that I need to fill. I have the 8-pound, so it's pretty comparable in test strength to this Power Pro, so that's why I'm going to be using it. If you were putting on, say, 20-pound, or if you were putting on even like a 30-pound test, well, you would probably want to use a stronger backing, but 8 pounds would probably be fine. I am going to be tying an arbor knot onto my reel, which I'm going to be showing you guys that next. The thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your spool is unraveling counterclockwise, and you're going to want to run your line through the last eye. Now that you have your line, you got it through the first eye, you're going to want to flip your bail up. So that means that your bail, this metal bar right here, is going to be standing straight up. If it's flat, well, just pull it right up. Okay, so what you're going to do now to do the arbor knot is you want to create a simple little overhand knot. Okay. So you're going to just kind of scoot it up as high as you can. Now, just pull it as tight as you can. And that's going to basically be the knot, or the point that when we make our other knot, it's going to create a lasso. When we pull on that, it's going to cinch down. We will have to remember to trim our tag end though. So now that you have that, go ahead and you're going to make a lasso. So it can be as big or small as you want, but generally going bigger is going to be better. So I like to leave about 7 to 8 inches out. And what I'm going to do is, you're not going to come through here, okay? You're going to go around like this. You're basically creating a overhand knot around the line, okay? So you're going to pinch it like this, and then you're going to run your line through the hole you've created. You know, it's kind of hard to see. This one is a little more difficult. So now you notice I've created a loop. So I'm going to tie down. You notice that? So you're tying down like here. Again, get that pretty tight. So now you have a lasso, okay? So if you can see that, you got a lasso. So you're going to stick this around your reel. It's easier if it's, oh my. So again, make sure it's open. This one likes to snap pretty easily. Now you're just going to pull this tight. Okay, this is going to tighten your drag down too. I don't know why my drag is up so much. I don't want to pull out the drag. Okay, so I'm going to tighten this and give it a good tug, because that is going to cinch these two knots down on top of each other. And now that you do that, you're just going to want to trim either with scissors, and I probably would suggest using scissors because it is a pain in the butt to take a knife to this. So once you get this tag end done, we're going to flip the bail. I am going to wrap up about 10 yards worth of monofilament on here, and then I'm going to show you guys how to do the uni-to-uni knot so that you can get your braided line attached to that, and then we're going to reel this up to the, basically, hopefully, using up the full spool is what I'm hoping to do. All right, hold on 1 second for that. Okay, so now we're going to close the bail. We're going to pick this up. We're going to reposition this. I did do a little bit of calculating because I only need, estimation is 10 yards, so I don't want to go over this.
So I want to get as much braid on there as possible. And I'm kind of interested to see if this actually works. So I've calculated that my rod and reel, being a 5-to-1 gear ratio, should approximately get me 26 inches per turn. Now I know that there is a 36 inch in a yard. So I know that my rod and reel will hold 160 yards, right? Now 150 of those are going to be braid. So I'm only left with 10. So what I determined was that I have about 1.38 turns per yard. So I times that by 10, I rounded up. I'm figuring about 14 turns. Well, whether that's accurate or not, I'm not 100% sure. We're going to find out. I figured it would be an interesting test nonetheless. I have a wet, damp rag. Now that our bale is closed, I have the bale down. I'm going to put that like so. Again, your monofilament or fluorocarbon should be unraveling, meaning it's coming off the line in a counterclockwise position. I'm going to wrap this up 14 times. Let's see if it helps. 14. Within theory, this should be 10 yards, and it should be enough to hold the braid. I'm going to cut this probably somewhere over here because I want to have enough room. We're going to have to tie 2 lines together. It's not very hard. If you know how to tie a uni knot, well, it's basically like tying 2.
So I have my line here. So this is the mono backing. So it's going to end right here. So at this end, since I'm running the other way, so we need one line running to the left from left to right and one line running from right to left. And then I have my line ending here. Now it's a little bit curled up. Personally, give yourself like 10 to 12 inches. I'm going to set the phone down. Now I'm going to show you guys this knot. I like to start with my braid. So I'm going to take this line. I'm going to take my monofilament line, and what you're going to do is you're going to want to pinch off here on the left. So again, you're going to want a decent amount of line. So what you're doing is you're going to take your braid. You're going to create basically a number 6. So you're going to loop this thing around a number 6. Now, do you see these 2 lines right here? So that's what we're going to be wrapping around. You're going to take this thing underneath. You're going to wrap it around both of the lines, so the monofilament and the braided line, and you're going to go through, we're going to go through 6 full times. So you see how this bit right here is all twisted up? It's all twisted, so you're going to want to salivate this right here. That's the top. Now, you're going to hold this tag end, and you're going to hold on to both lines on the left. You're just going to pull the tag end. Get this thing, basically, you don't want to go like full crazy on it, but you want to be able to put quite a bit of pressure on this thing. So now we're going to do the same thing on the left. So we're going to go where our mono runs out. So we're going to take our line and we're going to loop it. So you're going to take your mono and you're going to loop it and create a 6. Okay. It's more like a D. But, you know, it's going to work. So same concept, wrap it around 6 times. Again, salivate this top bit. Now, pulling on the tag end and holding both lines, pulling both lines, we're going to pull this knot tight. Usually I like to just pull the tag end too. So get it as tight as you can. You don't have to go crazy, but the tighter you get it, and the smaller this knot will be, both knots will be, the less bulky this thing will be. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take both of our lines, not our tag ends, we're going to take both ends of our actual line. So I'm grabbing my mono, as you can see here. Let me show you. So I got my mono here, and I got my braid here. So what I'm going to do is wrap like one each around my finger, and I'm just going to pull. Okay, I have a lot of line out, so it's going to pull these two lines. You see how both knots are basically pulling into one? So what I'm going to do is once I get that close, I'm going to grab a hold of the mono, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a hold of the braid, kind of wrap it around like my fingers a little bit just to get close, and that way you can see we're pulling it very tight. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Okay, now the next thing that you need to do is you're going to take your scissors or your clippers, and you're going to clip off your tag ends. It's not going anywhere. Okay, now that your uni-to-uni knot is finished, you're going to take your rod. Again, bail's going to be down just like we did with our mono. We're going to be doing with our braided line. I had that wrapped around my tripod, and that would have sent things tumbling. Again, heavy wet rag here. Just apply some pressure, and you will notice that the braided line will start spooling on here quite nicely. Now, braided line does not have memory, so if you want, you could stick a pen or a pencil, possibly through some Crocs. Just let this thing come off. It's not like mono where it needs to be coming off counterclockwise, because braid does not hold memory. So I might actually try that. Okay, so I actually took my Crocs and I stuck through the two holes. I have an Allen key in here holding this thing on, so it should be able to spin. Not 100% sure if this thing's going to work, but we're going to find out. And we're going to spool this thing up. Hey, it seems to be working. It's a little noisy. Wish I could show you guys this, but I think you get the idea. Normally these spools, they have a little notch at the top, and I'll show you guys this here. So it has this little notch here, and the line loves to get stuck in that little notch, and it just likes to send the roll flying. This is so cool. It's honestly, it's working pretty good, although it seems to be pulling the it seems to be pulling the Allen key. It seems to be pulling the Allen key out. But yeah, it's certainly, as you can tell, it's certainly doing its job. It's wrapping this thing up with braid quite nicely. And again, I'm going to be wrapping this thing up so it's about 1/8 from the edge of this lip. I'm going to wrap the rest of this up because you probably don't want to hear this thing banging around. And I'll show you where we're at. So I actually had used all 150 yards. And this spool, honestly, yeah, about 1/8 of an inch. So I don't know. I think my measurement system might be onto something. Now, I might have went with a few more turns just to fill this up a hair personally. But still, I think my wife is going to love the amount of line, love this rod and reel that I got for her. And if you guys want to see some fishing videos of me and my wife getting a bunch of fish with our rods, let me know in the comments down below. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Always love to hear from you guys. And make sure to check out apparently there's a bee right here. And make sure to check out my other videos if you want to learn how to tie some knots for some lures. Or even if you don't know how to tie the arbor knot, maybe you want a more detailed guide. I have one on the channel as well. So make sure to check that out now. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.